Alright, now, as promised, I'm going to tell you my team for Pokemon Philosopher. And if you haven't seen Pokemon Philosopher, link to the playlist in the description below. And if you want to share your teams in the comments, go right ahead. I'm not like comment begging, I'm just saying, tell me what your teams are, I'm interested. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get into the main meat and potatoes, the reason you clicked on this video. We'll start with the easy Pokemon that's going to be on my team. The starter Pokemon, Calavate. And I may pronounce some of these wrong, but they're fake mons, so I don't care. I always start with the fire-type starter in every game I play, no matter which one. After that, it's like grass or water. I don't really care what goes second, but I always start with fire. And I do admit, yeah, I'm going to start with Calavate. Now, Calavate is one that I actually didn't like at first, on first glance, but it grew on me over time. And I do see parts with design that I like the little claws, the backstory as to why it looks like that, and all that extra stuff. And yeah, I'm biased towards picking the fire starter, and yeah, while I admit the fire starter is not the best looking in every generation, like Samurott, for example, looks way better in Gen 5 than Emboar or Superior, in my opinion, and Chestnut looks the best out of the Gen 6 trio. Yes, Chestnut. Greninja's hella overrated, in my opinion, but yeah, I like a Calavate, and it's my starter for the first one, so yeah. And for the next one, we actually have ourselves a tie with Aerocon and Second Tree. And there's a reason for this one. Okay, these are the regional birds of the area. Well, one of the regional birds anyway, for the region. And the reason that there are two of them is because their pre-evolution, Valiant, only evolves when learning a specific move. Excuse me. If it evolves while knowing the move Low Sweep, it will evolve into Second Tree, the ostrich-looking one. And if it evolves while knowing Aerial Ace, it'll evolve into Aerocon, the other one. I don't know what happens if it learns both. Like, maybe it just won't evolve into delete one of the moves, or maybe it will, like, you have a 50-50 chance. Obviously, if you don't get any of the moves, you're not evolving. That's pretty obvious to figure out, but other than that, I don't know. Now, I'm happy with either bird, and honestly, given the fact that it, Valiant's just a flying type, probably just gonna pick Aerial Ace, or probably just had both moves. But, yeah, I'll probably be more likely to get Aerocon, but if I can pick a bird that I'd like to get, I'd want Second Tree, because I like ostriches and emus. They're, like, really cool animals in real life, and, like, my favorite bird species. But... And, yeah, also, we don't have many emu Pokemon, unless, off the top of my head, all we have is Doduo, Dodrio, and Galarian Zapdos, and that's about it. Now, granted, there's still more of those than Penguin Pokemon, but, well, except Piplup, but anyway, yeah, there's a lot of, we have a lot of repeat Pokemon, like, how many mice Pokemon do we have? Well, there's a lot of mice IRL, but yeah, but I like it, that's my reason for it. And again, if I got Aerocon, I wouldn't complain. Yeah, And of course, why pick now, you might ask why I'd catch the regional bird. I think it's just built into my brain at this point, And probably, it's built into my brain, like, ever since I was a kid, catch the flying type Pokemon. Now, mainly that was because back in the old days, you need a flying type Pokemon so they could learn HM05 Fly, and just about every bird could learn Fly. So you catch the flying types, you can fly all over the place. Plus, flying types aren't really a bad type to have in general. And while it does really overlay with Calavate, it's fine overall. Plus, both have really cool designs. But, heck, all three of them have cool designs, from Valiant to the other two. So yeah, those are my second pick. And at number 3 is Pokedex number 0003. Venusaur. And I'm willing to bet it's going to be on some of the viewers' teams too. And because, let's be real here, if you see a starter Pokemon from another generation waltzing around the wild, you're making a beeline for that son of a gun. I don't care if you don't even like the starter Pokemon that it is, you're making a beeline for it. It's extremely rare that you get to get old starters in new games. To my knowledge, the only games where you can do that is Generation 6, Pokemon Yellow, and the Let's Go games. And in all those cases, they're gifted to you. Now, I could be wrong. There could be like Pokemon Ranger games or stuff like that, and of course like Mystery Dungeon and stuff like that. But this is the only mainline games where you get to do this. Well, okay, no, there was also Pokemon Coliseum, but you know, main Pokemon games. So yeah, I would just make a beeline for it, and I'm not missing the opportunity to catch a freaking starter Pokemon. And yeah, would I get Squirtle and Charmander? Probably, but I don't think I'd use them just because I already have Venusaur. And you run into Bulbasaur first, so you're of course going to make a beeline for it, of course, and as I keep saying. And yeah, I might even just like not catch Squirtle and Charmander, just save them for future playthroughs if I wanted to. Like this way, you basically get 3 playthroughs out of it. Technically 9 if you think about it from a certain point of view, because you get the starter and then you can get the other one. But you know, yeah. So yeah, Venusaur, safe bet. It's an oldie but a goldie, but Venusaur is the first Pokemon according to the Pokedex. Like officially, numerically, all of that jazz. None of this freaking, well, technically Mew, well, technically Rhydon, well, technically, shut up. Bulbasaur is 0001. End of discussion. Next up on our list, we have ourselves a regional variant, Ampharos, who is a variant of the Mareep line. Now, psychic types have been nerfed time and time again, but the thing is, they've never actually been bad, have they? Not really. Plus, Mareep is like my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, and it's a little side mission in the game with the whole lighthouse thing. It's really sweet in my opinion, I like it. Plus, I actually owned a Flaffy card as a kid IRL growing up. I don't know where it is now, though. I just hope it's okay. It wasn't, like, thrown in the garbage. Probably was, but, you know, I can hope, right? I just hope it's not busted. And, yeah, this regional variant is based off the old, I think it's a tale, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is a really cool inspiration to go based off of. Plus, I like the pink design for it. Makes it more unique and stuff like that, you know? I like this thing's look. I do have some problems when it comes to regional variants of Pokemon. That's my own personal opinion, where it's like, congratulations, we made a brand new regional variant with some different, you know, variations of the Pokemon. It's like, oh good, is the original gonna get any of this? No! We're just gonna remake the same Pokemon over and over again. Yay! I mean, they've been doing that for Pikachu for years, so if you think about it, Pikachu's the first regional variant. But still. Regional variants, though, are still cool, and I do still like them, even if I have my problems with them. Although no regional variant has topped Alolan Vulpix, in my opinion. there have been ones that come close, but, you know, Alolan Vulpix for the win. But yeah, when it comes to the teammates, the Revolution Ampharos is on my party, so welcome. Next. And to follow that up, we have another Revolution Pokemon. This one we have Pyrat or Scallyflag. And these are variants of the Patrat line. Now, originally it was just to get this out of the way, originally it was going to be Grimmin, because I was a big fan of that early on in the game, but it turns out that you can actually only evolve it with a Firestone, and, you know, it would become a fire type, obviously, after that. And I already have a fire type in my starter, so... Sorry, Grimmin, you had to get cut. Maybe in the future playthrough I could pick you... Well, I can't pick you in any future playthroughs because this game isn't real. But, you know... sadly, you couldn't make the cut, my dude. Maybe next time. And now we can address the Dawn fan in the room. Yes, technically, again, this is another dual entry because Patrat can only evolve into either Scallyflag or Pyrat. Pyrat is the harder one to get, as Patrat we need to level up 10 full times without fainting once. And I imagine you have to cancel it a bunch of times, like, you know, if it evolves at, say, level 25, we'll just say, and you get to, like, level 20, and you evolve it 10 times without faint. Yeah, you gotta level up 10 full times without fainting, so you're gonna go for like 5 levels of just mashing that B button, or giving it an Everstone or something. I imagine like, okay, let's say we get up to 9 levels and then it faints, that would just restart the counter. It's not like you're screwed out of it, you go get a whole new Patrat or something like that. Although it would still be annoying regardless. Personally, I would try to aim for Pyrat just because I want to aim for that. It's really cool, got a really nice design and all that stuff. But honestly, I wouldn't be too disappointed if I ended up getting Scalaflag. In the end, because honestly, I think Scalaflag has a cooler design. I like the pirate ship, like the pirate logo bit on its body and all that stuff. It's got a really cool look, and plus, the pirate design on the Patrat line is just cool. I mean, pirates are just universally cool. I haven't met anyone who doesn't like pirates. Like, I'm sure they exist, no doubt about it, but I'm pretty sure it's just one of those universal things where it's like, yeah, that's cool. Okay. And yeah, the thing that makes Pyrite even cooler is its ability to have which is also a really cool design, because it sits on a throne of other Patrats, and I assume some Scalaflags, which is also really inspired because it's like based on a bunch of like mice coming together to form one big throne and like do as their emperor says so, which is like an idea from a bunch of like kids cartoon. Take a drink every time I say like, I swear to God. But yeah. It's in like a lot of kids' cartoons and like horror movies. I didn't realize how much I say the word until I notice it. It's a really cool idea, inspired and all that stuff. And yeah, I would try to get Pyrite, but again, if I get Scalaflag, not really disappointed in that one. Like, it's fine. They're both cool Pokemon, and that's what matters at the end of the day. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah. Now, before we get into my final Pokemon, I do want to give some honorable mentions to all the Alchemons that you catch that are HM slaves, because you can't use them in battle. They're just kind of HMs, and yeah. But I wanted to include them all because they all have like sad backstories where they're abandoned and just like considered worthless and stuff like that. And even though you can't use them in battle, I'm against fusing Pokemon together. Like, there is no 7th Pokemon on my part just because I'd be like, again, on principle, I'm not doing this. Like, I guess if I had to pick one, it would be the frickin' Project Spider Monkey one, just because I like the design and all that jazz, and it lets me do Ben 10 references. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I feel just bad for the Alchemon, because, they didn't ask for this. They were forced to do this by an evil man who ended up being a robot controlled by an even more evil woman. And yeah, you can't use any of them in battle, but I want to give them an honorable mention and give them their moment in the spotlight. It's sad that it came to this way for them, but at least they ended up going to a better place. No, not heaven, just their own private island. They want to go to heaven when they die. They just faint, and you have to use a revive. Anyway, we have come to my last and final Pokemon, and it is going to be D-Train. For a very simple and understandable reason. I like trains. How many times am I going to get to use a train Pokemon in the frickin' games? Answer, not many. Technically, we haven't gotten it at all yet, unless there's another Fakemon region that has it as one, possibly. But in the official games, I don't think there's a train Pokemon yet, and I am going to jump at that opportunity the first chance I get. And it does look, and it is a pretty cool mon too, like with a bit of a worm aesthetic. It's double-headed like some trains are nowadays. And it can like, I imagine like if one head gets tired of attacking, they like turn around like on a turntable or something, and just attack with the other head or something. Or like use 2 heads to attack at once. It was like a final attack or something. I just really like it. It's a really cool Pokemon. It's a freaking train, and it's electric type. And electric types are good Pokemon too, and it fits it with it being an electric train. So yeah, my final Pokemon is D-Train. What are you gonna do about it? I saw this thing and I at first said like, this thing's kind of, it's okay, but you know what? It's like, it's a trained Pokemon. I'm not turning this thing down. I don't often use Pokemon that don't evolve, but for a train, I'll make an exception. And maybe we'll get a new evolution in a future series. Who knows? But again, what's your party? Let me know below. And I hope you enjoyed checking out Pokemon Philosopher with me. Yeah, with me. And thanks again to Esco Knight for creating this series. And I wish you all a good day and a better tomorrow. Until next time, now go catch them all.